Hello and welcome to Wrestleopinionated. This is our weekly show all about the shows of AEW. We are your hosts. I am Morg and this is...
Fucked up his mohawk, Matt Strange. And this is...
Correct side, Matt. Well done. Still working, Mo.
Hey! Vampire yet. Bit time. Look what I could have had, boys. Look what I could have had!
How's your day been, Strange?
Ah! That about sums it up. I've got the rage. Unfortunately, I get to talk about things that make me angry, like Adam Cole in a bit. So, more on that later. How about you, boys?
I have done nothing. I watched some wrestling. Mo?
I sold my house. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, it just now means I have to buy a house and therefore put effort and money into something. I'm all right.
I haven't done that for the entire 37 years I've been alive, mate. I wouldn't worry about it.
I think you're winning. You haven't had to deal with estate agents.
We have to move soon, but human cockroach Matt Strange will make it through.
Right.
Wrestling.
Welcome to our life
It's
podcast.
not going to be wrestling, is it? Yeah.
Welcome to our Strange's Mohawk Didn't Work podcast.
So angry.
I can't remember what the characters were. You look like a Cartoon Network, failed scientist. I can't remember what it's bloody called.
Dexter?
No, not Dexter. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ignore me.
It's alright, okay.
Right, so we are live on Twitch for the first time ever. Hopefully, if I have made this work, I am hopeful.
Well, I didn't do it, so it's got more of a chance, realistically.
Yep. So, right. That has thrown me completely. So this might be the first time you are watching our stream.
Hey, he's
first
on board,
time
he's got
you
it!
are listening to our podcast.
What do we do, Morg?
As such, you would need to know that we have a tier list, which is how we give our individual scores for the individual matches of Dynamite and Rampage, and our overall score through the power of letter maths. Mr. Strange, last week I challenged you to do your tier list in Dragon Ball Z heel characters. What have you got for us this week?
Well, it's obviously Dragon Ball Z face characters. That's why I have some of my Dragon Ball Z face characters fighting in the ring behind us. There they are. Yay! Right, tier list, school system, letters, tier zoo. We go up, we say some are bad, some are good. We start at our lowest. Our lowest rank match is a D. It's a squash match. It's over. It does nothing. It's useless. It's Yariobi. Neither of these two guys know who Yariobi even is. He cuts off Vegeta's tail in the Saiyan saga and then disappears to live with a cat. Moving on. Yes. C is what we want for a good character, a good match. It's got a bit of story, it's got some action, we know what it's about. Nothing special, but we enjoy it. Maybe it's got your favourite people in it, so I'm giving it to Future Trunks. Future Trunks is a wonderful character, part of one of the best arcs. He's got a lovely bit of story. He has his fights, he has some really good matches, he gets his character arc over, and then he fucks off to Dragon Ball Super. Perfect. Wonderful. A concise, tight story. B is Gohan. Goku's son has probably the best story arc because a B is it's that story or match just a little bit better. It gets a little bit over in the ring. It tells a little bit more. That's what we want from B. We want a match or segment plus one. Gohan story, wonderful. The passing of the torch from the father to the son. The Cell saga, great story. The father-son Kamehameha, wonderful until Goku big leagues him for the second season and Gohan's push is over. Hey, Goku, there he is. He's wonderful. He is the Giga Face. He is your what fucking Vince wanted Roman Reigns to be. He's your John Cena. And A has story, great battles. We know why the character's there. The promo gets over. The character is the character. And that's what Goku is. Phenomenal fight scenes. An unchanging, poorly educated man who puts the world in danger and punches people. He's got great fights, great story, consistent character, and hasn't changed. Starts as a heel, evolves through a character arc, lovely moment with Son, a true storytelling experience, phenomenal fights, undead wizards, bikers, luchadors, ninjas. All of this is represented in the tale of Vegeta. There he is, a lowly heel when he first came in. What threat to the world is defeated. Still a heel, his character arc grows, he gets better in skill. Eventually he comes round, he joins the faces, but he struggles with it. Oh, what a struggle. He then almost kills his family, gives himself up for power, but realizes that was wrong. Explodes, comes back to life because it's Dragon Ball Z and people stay dead longer than fucking Marvel. The saga of Vegeta, and specifically Majin Vegeta versus Goku in the Bobbidi fight, only saving grace of the Cell Saga, other than Vegito, is an S-rank story. So D, shitty, C, good, B, very good, A, amazing, S, Vegeta. What do you think, boys? You got it?
Mate, perfect.
Thank you very much, Mr. Strange.
Do you want me to add something? It looks like I'm wearing the same hoodie as last week, doesn't it?
Well, it does, mate.
It does look like you are wearing the same hoodie as last week, but it's like radio.
No! I've got two!
You're such a Dragon Ball Z shill, mate.
Yeah, mate. Hilariously, they were both bought for me by different people for Christmas.
You see, this
Welcome
won't be
to my Dragon
you
Ball Z
because Mr. Strange, I have here the one and only Wrestleopinionated.
Oh shit!
shirt.
It's us shirt. We have merch.
We do have merch.
I should buy some to take our sales to 2.
Right, moving on. Time for the news.
A bit closer to me.
So, what news you got for us this week, Mr. Strange?
Leo Rush is gone. I won't go into the drama of Leo Rush being gone because Leo Rush spoke out and told Tony Khan off for what he said about Big Swole, which we covered previously. And now his contract's gone. Obviously, you get all the drama, you get involved with this on social media. I'm not going to touch anything of depth. I'm not going to say whether I believe a company to be racist or not. As a Devon Valley white boy, don't have a lot to say on this, if I'm honest with you. Not safe territory for me. But yeah, Leo Rush quit wrestling, came back to wrestling, quit wrestling, went to NJPW, signed with AEW. Now he's gone. He's on possibly an all-black promotion they're building called Terminus, but I'll have more on that as it grows. Tying into the social media resource side, you guys would have to look this up more because I haven't had a chance. The Indie Hall of Fame was started about wrestling. That's pretty cool, actually. Not was everybody goes a Hall of Famer. It just doesn't mean Vince has given you a badge, like he won't give Macho Man, who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Vince was the best. But that's what I got. Indie Hall of Fame and Leo Rush on again. But who knows? Maybe he'll be back next week. You can never tell. It's Leo Rush, always rushing around.
Oh, dude, no.
Save us, Morg. Save us from the Shadow Realm where you live.
Right, quick shout out. Appears we may have a couple of viewers on Twitch, so a quick hey to
look
them.
at my mohawk.
So, yes. Moving on. Social media. And, Mr. Strange, I believe this week, this isn't you, is it?
No, it's you.
Yeah.
I've remembered you're on the opposite side to where my screen.
I'm on the other side. So, there's a video been posted that a friend sent to me that I'm going to mention. Pop and look it up. It's called Wyndham Promo 2020 Followers of Darkness. Now, I have seen some things. It's on a YouTube channel called It Begins Again. It's a really cool video, and it's Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family getting back together with Titan and Redbeard, Braun Strowman, and
Eric Rowan.
Yeah, I had mental blank then. I was going, it doesn't begin with an R.
Why you keep Indie Shitter Man around?
And allegedly, Some people are saying it's a fake video, but definitely worth a watch. So that's my shout out for social media. It's not as interesting as your Twitch dramas, Strange.
Not to touch as a white boy. Let's leave it to better spokespeople.
Not us. Right.
Not me. Wrestling.
Shit.
Right, go on. Introduce us. Do the man thing.
Right, so we kick off, as always, every week with Dynamite. JR Schiavone and Excalibur on commentary. Then Mox returns.
Don't you look healthy? Oh,
and cuts a promo.
Man.
So I haven't given this a rank because I wasn't sure whether this was a thing we could rank. If I do, it's really high, but it's a... What do you guys think?
I'm going to have to bring myself in as what is known as a terrible person here. He looks a lot better. I appreciate a long, heartfelt promo about your problems. Not really my thing. If any film says, for example, a heartwarming adventure, I've been it. Anything with, comfort or soulful things in is not realistically for me. But he earned that little speech. He carried the company at first. He walked his... I might not particularly like him in the ring. But, he's had his problems. He's come through them. So I can give it a B out of wholesomeness, but it's a C for me. I didn't dislike it that the guy's earned his time, but I was like, when is the wrestling beginning?
See, I'm the opposite for you.
Very wholesome.
Yeah, I'm all about wholesome. Look at me. I like Love Actually or something. I don't know. No, I really enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not sure where to go with that. I really enjoyed it. And I think the way he did it worked better. Obviously talking about his demons as if it's an actual fucking demon. I really like that.
Baylor confirmed.
I also felt like he kept putting some weird Ultimate Warrior style snarls in there, which was quite interesting for me. I don't know why I might just be hearing things, but I gave it a B, not out of wholesomeness, but I genuinely thought it was a really good promo. I thought it was a good return for the guy, and yes, he does struggle looking at the camera. Unlike Mox, he knows what he's doing. And yeah, I gave it a B out of actually a good promo and a good return. And like you said, looking damn healthy. Like he doesn't look like
a man, isn't he? He was a bit... Last time we saw him, and I've
not a perfect figure of man like myself, obviously.
I'm allowed to criticise. Under this orange hoodie, I'm a sculpted sex god.
What, like Bubba the Love Sponge?
Exactly.
No, it's Thor. Right, so yeah, we're giving it a B.
Yeah, let's go.
I didn't want to rank it. It was a
it's a moment.
Back, going, look, it was a moment. We might get a couple of them this one. Right, we then had MJF with Wardlow promo. Thoughts and scores.
I loved it. I love this little dynamic. I love comedy MJF with yeah, I'm sorry, big guy, but you were a bit shit. Wonderful. And Wardlow's fucking chewing face in the background. Wonderful. I gave it a B. I'm looking forward to their breakup. I want to see where it goes. And I want to see more Giga Chad Wardlow, because he makes my nipples a bit hard.
Yeah, I originally put this as a low B. And I've sort of come around a little bit more because I went and rewatched it, and I think I was just, I was still thinking about the Mox promo after it, and when it was side by side,
different energies.
Oh my god, yeah. But when I rewatched it in its own little vacuum, yeah, it was a B straight away. Like I said, waiting for that inevitable end. Well, MJF's going to die horribly, isn't he? And it's from Punk and then from Wardlow, or the other way around. Whichever way it is, I am massively looking forward to it. And yeah, B, man. He's such a shitheel. It's great.
You've seen him now.
I moved this to the usual. It's an MJF. It's a B. It was a standard. He's one of the guys that has that rule. And yeah, he gave us a B rank match. Right. Here we go.
Oh God, it's time!
Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. Cole wins with the boom. What did you think of the match, and what score did you give it? So, Adam Cole's number one fan, Matt Strange, over to you first.
Look at my notes. Fucking look at this.
Wow.
This was a mixed tag. This is new, and I'm already fucking tired of it. In fact, no, I'm gonna save my other fucking angry point for after this. At least a lot of the Pixies. They came out. Appeals to my little, old punk man. Brit versus Kicks at the start was good fun. Match finally started with Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole sorta after a bit of fucking out. We had a cool pushover suplex thing, but I found the pace pretty poor in this match at the start, at least. Get break for the slow heel control, which is just a standard now. Mix up the breaks a bit, guys. Come on. Orange Cassidy and Statlander picked up a bit of pace after that. Statlander versus Britt being the better part of the matches. I honestly wasn't that excited by OC versus AC. Maybe because I've seen it 500 times. Sorry. They got some hype for the boys. It picked up after that. The 450 into Beach Break should have won. I know AEW is the indie flipper shitter. Everybody eats a million fucking finishers, but one big finisher into his legit finisher. He's got it out. And then the match fell apart for a bit, and I didn't have to watch one, but two fucking Panama Sunrises. The worst destroyer, and I'm going to compliment one later. I never thought I'd say I'm tired of tables in wrestling, but do you reckon we could make it through one episode? Just one episode of Dynamite where a table doesn't come out. Hey, bumps bit through the table, and Adam Cole wins again. But now they can have... Did they announce the other match after this, or am I saving my anger? I'm saving my anger. Match was good. It had story, and most of the action was clean and entertaining. So arguably, also it's an intergender match, which are rarer. So I cannot, in good faith, give it below a C rank match. I'm fucking sick of him. I'm fucking sick of him winning. I love tables. We're gonna discuss shit on this later. I'll watch a man die in that ring. Give me a fucking week off of tables and Adam fucking Cole. But we won't. We've got to see him next week. What do you boys think?
Oh, I would just like to start by saying thank you. Your rage nourishes me. I came into this quite tired. I now feel refreshed. It's lovely. No, I mean, I do not have the hate even remotely like yourself. However, I do agree with the pacing. It was really on and off. It wasn't just the beginning. I felt throughout the whole thing. It looked like it was building somewhere, stopped. All of a sudden, sprinted out of nowhere, stopped. And it just didn't feel very cohesive. I actually made a note later in Rampage where I'm like, I agree with Matt about why is the baddies always in charge when it cuts off? Like, what? Why? Like, it does seem a bit insane. However, I massively appreciated the delayed suplex, especially with good old JR mentioning the British Bulldog. Gotta love that, man.
Hey, the boy,
He's,
baby.
Yeah, I don't have a huge amount more to add than what you already have. I thought it was pretty solid, though. I actually gave it a high C. But it was just that pacing that really took it down for me from being something a lot better. I am not as bored as you. However, I think you may be right. Haven't been watching as long, and they need a break from people anyway. Like, not just these guys. You don't want to just keep hammering the same people on all the time, because then it just becomes samey and they lose that spark, that little bit of, I can't wait to see that person. But yeah, I see.
Oh, Morg, you're an NXT fan. You might be, Mo. You know.
It was all right. It was a C. It was a C. It was a C match. It didn't set me on fire. If I'm watching I think the problem is I want New Japan mixed tag matches.
You mean Not New Japan. They don't let women wrestle, but the Japanese style.
The Japanese style of.
You want your Chris Books and your Maki Itos together, a bit of.
I understand why it doesn't happen. We've discussed it before, but. And I don't like the I liked the beginning, the shenanigans at the beginning with the tagging in and tagging out. I liked that. That was a nice little bit of heel work. But yeah, it was all right. It was a match. Right, moving on from there.
Go!
Inner Circle promo. Thoughts and scores.
No drama promo. Woo! I liked it. I like Santana. I'm glad he's being allowed to speak more. I quite liked Jericho just sort of looking sad and confused at the end by slang he's too old to understand. I smiled. There's going to be story. I actually sat there and went, oh, story involving... I mean, Jericho's in fucking everything, don't get me wrong. Actually, some Brent the Powerful story, maybe in a circle breakup leading to LX. I'm happy after watching a repeat of the same thing I've seen 9,872 times. I was like, oh... And I sat there and a little cheeky grin. So it gets a B from me for actually caring where it could go.
Yeah. I mean, I put it low B. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's Chris Jericho, which is always a win for me. Again, I've not been like worn down by everything that's gone on anyway.
I am extra jaded, just to let you know.
More so than normal. Have you like lowered all your scores by half for just today?
Let's see how this goes, bro.
I do think that Jericho, it's the one person actually that Strange and I haven't got actually tired of that other people have. I have seen the old Jericho.
He can be all over the place, but on the other hand, he's normally not like King of the Hill anymore.
Yeah, we've not got. Whereas I know there's been a bit of sort of internet sort of statements of things like, "Oh, we should possibly move." You know, less Jericho is one of the things they should probably do.
He's solid, but yeah, I can get it. I've just shouted about Cole, ho ho, in a moment. You know, I get it. We could have a bit of time off Jericho. I don't think it would hurt, but largely, I don't think he harms the show.
He's great in commentary.
Yeah, I also gave it a B. It was just a B though. I just thought it was a good promo. It was nice. It was interesting. It set up something new and different, or maybe not. Are we leading to Jericho versus Eddie, or are we leading to Jericho teaming with Eddie? And because I don't know yet.
LAX.
Yeah. So following on from that, we had Adam Cole backstage interview. Strap in, guys. I think this is going to be good.
So Cole's really mad because the man he's beaten 9,482 times. Oh no, he put my girlfriend through a table, even though I just beat him again and then beat him after the match. Even though I have beaten him every week, I've beaten his friends, I've beaten his tag team. They brought some friends in from Japan. I beat them, then I beat them after the match, and my friends come down and beat them. No, I'm mad. So we have to have a lights out match so the Casty can beat me and win the feud without affecting my undefeated record. It would be genius if we hadn't seen them do this shit before. And I'm going to say something about that fucking later as well. It's so obvious. I'm sick of watching them fight. I'm sick of it. And it has to be... They can't just let the good guys win the feud. They can't just say, oh, and then the faces win. Because no, we have to watch NXT 5'9" man have an unbroken fucking record. I didn't watch NXT. I don't give a shit about him. Push your own stars. Maybe put them on television. Maybe Leo Rush has got a fucking point. Hey, he had big energy.
So, do we have noise gate on? I'm just checking, because otherwise Matt's just deafened to everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure we do.
I don't know what that is.
If you scream too loud, it turns you off.
Really? Said Adam Cole was annoying and I'm sick of him.
I mean, For me, again, massively different position to you guys. I went, see, yeah, that's all right, setting up a match, whatever. Yeah, like I said, on my Rampage thing, I'm looking forward to Matt's Rage. Every time he appears now, I know it's going to happen, and it brings me joy.
Break. I get excited by Hook. I'm going to talk about him later. Do you know who wasn't on TV last week? Hook.
Yes, he was.
Last week he wasn't.
Oh, last week.
Match last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Pause. Let
I think
the character breathe.
I don't. Unfortunately, it's telegraphed. I know what's happening. You're doing the same thing you did with Britt Baker. So the match will be good. The promo was just that. Yeah. It was a C. It was just a promo. It was fine. Right. Moving on. Punk and Spears promo package. Do you want to discuss it, give it a score, or are you happy to just...
It was really good. It's standard issue, one of their video packages. They're really good at them.
Yeah, we like them. Any comments, Mo, other than that?
No. It was... Yeah, I didn't even put it down as a separate thing. I actually put it all in.
MJF then joins commentary. We then have Punk versus Spears. Punk wins with the GTS. Thoughts and scores.
So, I really enjoyed this. I think it was really fun. Mo's shaking his head. He's the opposite way. It was a D as a match goes. Obviously, it was a squash. I would rank it higher on the comedy level if we hadn't seen Kenny Omega do this to Sonny Kiss much, much better at the start of his heel run about 18 months ago. You should watch that match. Oh.
I'll add it to my links.
It's gone from being a face, just Sonny. It's on the old YouTube. It's like 20 seconds, and it's wonderful. I still gave it a B. I enjoyed this. I think it's a nice show. I like Spears, but Spears is a happy man who runs a gym with his fit wife who comes out to talk shit and be beaten up. He don't give a fuck. He's not trying to get goals or anything. He's happy being a minion, and I love him for it. I think it was a good message. Go on, Mo. You rant. You feed the rage.
What you've written here, I'm not actually fucking happy. I genuinely really wanted to see this as an actual fucking match. I'm with you. Genuinely was really on board for it. I obviously I love Punk. Yeah. I don't need to say any more than that. I really wanted to see what Sean was like now. Like, I'm really genuinely intrigued. I know we obviously saw there was I can't remember who it was. It was against the other match against the sort of the local talent previously, but I wanted to see him in a proper fucking match, and boom, over. It didn't even give chance for MJF to do anything on commentary, which I was looking forward to him being on commentary as soon as he walked out, because I was thinking, brilliant, it's just going to be even more shit-heeliness while a decent match is going on. I'm just gutted. The reason I put the two together with the promo and this was to make it a C.
No,
the match was a D.
Yeah. I've got
the promo brought it up. I was just, it brought me down.
I have to agree. I really was looking forward to this match. We were talking about... I was talking to the Raptor.
I'm the one who didn't mind it. This is strange. Normally I'm the Sean Spears man.
I was talking to the Raptor while we were talking, and we were talking about the Adam Cole thing, and I said I'm not sure if I'm happy about that. Talking about that Adam Cole beach break thing. And she went, oh, what? Sean Spears versus Punk? And I'm like, no, this is going to be really good. GTS. And part of me is like, yeah, right. As the Punk fan in me was like, yeah. Cool. But the wrestling fan was like, oh, I really wanted to watch that match. I gave it a D squash. I had to give Punk. I had to give Punk a D.
Man. Maybe I was just so happy to see anything other than Adam Cole afterwards that I overrated it.
This was your palate cleanse.
Yeah, exactly. It was my sorbet.
Yeah, I gave it. It got D squash from me because it was the promo package before was brilliant.
Oh yeah, completely.
So then we had Billy Gunn and Christian promo. I'm gonna say segment.
Did anybody else think that Christian Cage earned the shit kicking he got?
It's a bit of a dick, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was like, I'd probably have beaten him up if he'd just insulted me and my kids. Fuck you, Christian Cage. Solid moment, announced match, nothing special, but I don't think Christian's the good guy in the situation. Yeah, fuck you and your kids. Oh, we're gonna beat you up then. Oh no, what big face energy.
God damn them ass kids.
Whoever wrote that sketch, that little moment, or came up with it, has never been beaten up in a pub for opening their mouth. Because I have, and afterwards I do have to kind of go, yeah, that was my fault. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I'm much the same, but I thought the same after the promo last week, where Luchasaurus, the Jungle Boy, and that, after they'd won the titles, and I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but Christian just come across like a bit of a tool. Like, this is my show. Here are the kids that I've put the title belts on. I don't know
now. They get a promo on their own this week later.
They did, yeah. But that's just because he died.
But and then you learn why they've got Christian with them.
So I'm in that weird place of I don't know whether they realise he's a baddie, or whether they're intentionally writing him in as a heel. I'm finding it really weird. But yeah, I agree. I gave it a C anyway. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
As much as I'm babyface guy, best Christian is heel Christian by a long way.
Yeah,
best Christian is heel Christian. And I think
I'll have Edge to be his tag team partner soon when he's been fired from the WWE.
Oh, if only they'd fire Edge, that would be like, yeah. Obviously, I don't want anyone to lose their job. I meant that in the respect of if only Edge would leave and come to AEW.
He's rich. He wants to do an AJ, just retire and be with your kids and be happy.
Oh yeah, right.
I love you, AJ, but it's time just to run a Twitch channel.
Are you ready, Strange?
I am.
We had our second return. Cody
had a double return.
Cody Rhodes returned, the TNT champion. Thoughts and scores.
I wrote down I should let Mo speak first because he's new to the Codyverse. One thing I will say before he goes, and you see half of it in this, is that BTE dangerous sociopath madman Cody, when he slips out, is the best. Like when he walked up and just went, "What do you want to talk about?" I was like, "Oh, Cody, it's my fave, Cody." So I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to let our new member of the Codyverse.
So obviously I can't do as beautiful a breakdown as you always do. I just have my comments. Yeah, that's it. So I really enjoyed this. I'm actually going to put that straight out there. It's fucking weird.
Isn't it?
Again, this is like an extreme version of the Christian thing. Is he a face? Is he a heel? Is he a tweener? Is he just a company man? I don't know, and I don't read enough of the internet to find out someone else's opinion to tell me what I should know. But one of my favourite things, and it shouldn't be a favourite thing because it's a bit of a dick thing, was the fact that he struggled to get the ladder in the ring and needed his own roadie. Roadie needed a roadie. I giggled to myself when I said that. I'm a very simple man. Got a massive mixed reaction, as I was fully expecting him to. The thing I loved about it, especially, was how much he was bigging up the rest of the roster. That's great, man. Like, it's a business thing, you know, it makes perfect business sense, it makes perfect promo sense, because he can go and do anything with anyone. I kind of liked his little dig at, is it Brody King? You know, just coming in with that name. Like, all those little things. I thought it was great. The only thing that took it away from me was I didn't know how to look at it. It wasn't telegraphed. And I don't know, everything shouldn't be telegraphed. It shouldn't be obvious, you know, having that little, you know, is he breaking the fourth wall properly? Like, it's fucking interesting. Like, I found it a very interesting promo, but it knocked it down to a low B for me because I had to go away and think. My instant reaction didn't feel like a real reaction. Do you get what I mean? And weirdly, the one thing, and it sort of ties into something later on, where it felt like his challenge to Sami was too early. Sami's should have been a challenge to him. So the little segment that Sami does later felt like it should have been before this. It felt like they had put two things together. I don't know. That's just me nitpicking, I guess. But yeah, I gave it a low B.
One more. I'll go last this time. We're going to mix up the entire fucking order. Let's go.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about this first.
Oh, shit!
So he opened this and he likened this to the pipe bomb promo. And I was like, okay, well, I'm on board for that because, you know, I'm not precious about one of my favourite promos of all time. I'm not a total CM Punk mark in the slightest.
Phil.
And then he proceeded to do the weirdest pipe bomb promo ever, where he balanced between kayfabe and not kayfabe and broke the fourth wall but didn't break the fourth wall and maybe broke the fourth wall. Don't say you're going to do a fucking pipe bomb and then don't do a pipe bomb. He did one pipe bomb in that, which was the joke about the contract, which was just a good, funny joke if you were in on it. He didn't cut a pipe bomb. It was not a pipe bomb. I gave it a C. I normally give Cody a B, but because he confused me, I think if he hadn't confused me, he'd have got the B.
I don't think he was going for a pipe bomb. What he was saying was, this is what CM Punk said in the pipe bomb, and I've fucking done everything he said he wants to. Which he has, because I'm not a Phil mark, so I can say Phil just ran away for 7 years. This was meta as shit.
And we seem to have lost Strange from the chat.
The ladder was pretty funny. It was BTE Cody, as I used to know him. This dangerous business sociopath that was obviously raised by his father. I don't like it when he breaks the fourth wall. I think you could do everything he said without saying, I won't turn heel in it. That always bugs me. It wasn't so bad in this one, because he came across very Patrick Bateman, not quite attached to reality, which is the best Cody. As he said in his Ring of Honor run, I put the food on the table and Daddy eats first. Wonderful. More of that sort of Cody. Went a bit weirder towards the end, and we got to see some of his dangerous sociopath face expressions. Like, if you watched his face when he said Malachi Black, he probably sort of fucking sneered to itself. And he hinted at not signing, then he climbed the ladder, and obviously we've got to have the unified title match, belts, whatever, so they can make a new belt. They release a new title belt every time somebody gets a fucking title. Don't get used to what the TNT belt looks like. It'll change. We're on like 7 or some shit.
No.
I'm between the two of you. I gave it a C because I don't like the meta-ness, but I do like sociopath Cody. Needs to pick a direction. If Cody just disappears off to write his own fucking... because he likes DC comic books for some reason. If he disappears off to make Arrow with Stephen Amell and other things you fucking comic book marks like, and just as his own Codyverse, Lucha Underground, sweet. Cool. If he can bring this back in a bit and be dangerous heel sociopath Cody, playing 6D chess, awesome. But I'm going to settle with Morg, who's on that screen. I'm going to go with the C on this one. The
other thing was, he'd have got an S if he'd have done my fantasy booking that me and the Raptor while we were watching it, and I turned around and said, I thought he was just going to come in the ring, put up a ladder, and leave. And that would have been the best promo. Not because I'm dissing Cody. I mean, that would have been such a good way of going, look, we're doing the 2 Intercontinental Championship thing. Here's your throwback for your nostalgia. How cool is this? I'm just putting a ladder up and leaving. And I think that would have got an S from me, because that would have just been such an awesome... because we haven't had anyone do anything like that for a while, so it would have felt nice and crisp.
Seeing a lot of the same sort of stuff lately, and we could do with refresh.
Something a bit different. Right. Jade Cargill and Anna Jay promo. Anyone got anything to say about it?
Bring your comedy, friend! Promo! Are you not that strong at promoing? Do you have a shorter, professionally trained wrestler who's a funny man? You need somebody like me to stand alongside you whilst you look big and buff and just spiel shit. Hire your shorter than you comedy male. They will promo for you. Weird end, it was alright.
I'm not even going to bother saying anything. I mean, it has John Silver. Yeah, all right, cool.
Oh, you Silver, Mark. He is.
I'm gonna get his arms tattooed on my arms.
It was a C. It just.
Sorry, carry on. Run the show.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to. Oh.
I'm here all night.
And that was your moment.
Yeah, moment.
It's right. More on that later. So moving on from then, we had the Kings of the Black, Malachi Black and Brody King. So I can't read my own handwriting. Versus the Varsity Blondes with Julia Hart. King wins with Dante's Inferno. Mo.
He's got his hand up. He's frozen in time.
And he's also frozen.
Alright, we'll carry on. I'm sure he'll teleport back in, I guess. At least now we can see when things go wrong. I had to wonder what this match was, because I've just written down baddies versus kids. Not so sold on the old music. I quite enjoyed Malachi Black's music. Not something I'd listen to for fun. We had a nice, fast, hot, aggressive start. And then Brian got the nerves about his botch, which I actually thought was kind of cool minor storytelling. Going, I'm not going to do my leapy rolly movie. I thought was pretty fucking sweet. Solid clusterfuck. You could see that Brody really needs to build some chemistry with people. He might be a big guy. He might bounce around all right, but you could see the lack of familiarity, perhaps, with the younger wrestlers as well. However, that tag finisher where he throws him to him and he fucking slams him is sick as shit, and I would like to see more of that. And I gave it a C. So he's still frozen time, and Morg is trying to fix it. So I'm going to have a brief chat here. Hi, my name's Matt Strange. You may recognise me from such things as that one time I went viral in 2016, and being Lord of LARP.
I'm back. We've lost Mo entirely for the second.
Okay, well, he'll jump back in if he can.
Yeah. I gave it a low C. It felt like a match. It was all right. It was a bit close to a squash. I didn't expect anything else. Shall we move on to the important bit?
Yeah! My fucking boy!
Pack promo.
I love him. We're going to get Spoopy plot. Hopefully he wins Metal Gear Julia, or Julia Pliskin, over to his side as well. Could be the king, and he could be the blind king in the land of the one-eyed people. I love it. I'm excited he's back. I can't wait to see him ninja flipping around like a computer game glitch. Just sailing through the air and crushing people. Hopefully they don't waste him. Loses to Adam Cole, week 2. Game over.
Yeah. Oh, Cole versus Pac. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, this
Pac would eat him.
What score did you give it?
I didn't rate it, if I'm honest. I completely skipped it. I was more just all like that was cool. Oh, an A.
Yeah. It was very close to getting slightly more.
He's always got the great packages. He sells it up well. Oh, close to an S.
I love those videos, but yeah, I gave it an A. Moving on from...
1 second.
Oh.
For Mo fans and people who are here for the Mo moments and the great tales of Mo, new YTS kid, his net's gone down. He's rebooting. He'll be with us momentarily.
Awesome.
I sent him a message.
I'm glad. Yeah, you used the internet, Strange. I am very impressed with you.
I have my phone here. It's got a picture of Android 17 from Dragon Ball.
I have mine next to me on purpose because I said, carry my phone and that for and I just didn't think about it as an object to use to message Mo. Right, moving on. This is a bit of a shame because I'd like to have heard Mo's thoughts on this, but we can always backtrack a little and ask him.
Yeah.
Lance Archer package. Now, have you got anything to say about it? Because it was just a package.
We've got an extra boomer. Why isn't Jake talking? Solid, all right. I don't know why Boomer Man's now with them, but cool, whatever. I don't want Lance in this feud because he's got to lose. I don't want it. Let him squash some people. Let him Suzuki-gun and run around chinning people. Don't. He's going to come back and be big and mean, and then it will collapse. Mo has to update Discord. He's had a problem. He'll be with us in a moment. I don't know why they need Boomer Man unless maybe Jake's getting a bit too old to get on with things anymore. We'll see where it goes. I can't judge it too harsh. Maybe it will be the greatest storyline made by man. Probably not.
Yeah, it was all right. Again, we're back to the standard. It's all right.
All right.
It's setting up. I felt the same as you did. Setting Lance into this to lose again.
Yeah. Couldn't we just have had him?
He just needs
come in and squash Adam Cole.
He needs a standard.
He has to be on every week.
I think he needed a stand. The problem with Archer is he's one of those people that turns up and looks destructive, and that's it's almost a problem. You have to go, well, he's a main event talent because he looks like one.
Hey, just do what Suzuki-gun do, which is they can lose. They'll lose in silly ways. They'll be outskilled, tricked into a countdown, whatever, and then afterwards they just continue beating people up. They're not there to win wrestling matches. They're there to assault people. Just stick with that gimmick. It's what Lance is good at. Look at him. Runs out and goes, he's Broly.
We then had the Cutler Cam. And we had a Roppongi Vice promo.
Yeah, Roppongi Vice. Classic. Lovely little Rocky that he is. A wonderful man. And Trent being meta. Trent's got his surname back. It's returned. He's Trent Beretta again. Like the guy. Oh! A third script. Oh, thank God. He's gone to the usual place. Who's coming?
Welcome back, Mo.
Oh, what did you think of the Lance promo?
Oh, God. It was all right.
I
enjoyed it. See, yeah. So I put my hand up to ask a very quick question on the last thing. I'd like to carry on asking it if possible.
Of course.
House of Black or Kings of the Black Throne? Are they both under the same? Or I
believe House of Black is the organisation.
Yeah.
And Kings of the Black Throne is the tag team.
Yeah, representing the House of Black or something like that at the beginning. So,
okay.
So what score did you give that match? Because that will be an important score.
Low B.
Oh.
Low B?
Oh, you enjoyed that. Oh.
Oh, no. Sorry. No, I've got it wrong. I have two down here. I got low B for continuing Brody King as a badass. And I got a C for the match.
Okay.
So you could probably say, what, a high C in the middle there?
I gave it a C, so it's a C overall. I don't care what Morg I do care what Morg
What did you say, Morg?
I gave it a low C.
Low C. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Okay. Because it was just...
oh, okay.
Lack of chemistry.
It lives on the... Yeah. And we haven't got Goth Julia Hart yet. And I'm refusing to give Varsity Blondes anything above a C until...
No, we don't need any more fucking goth schoolgirls. They tried it with Alexa Bliss and fucking ruined her.
That was when she was at her best. Right, anyway, moving on. Cutler Cam, Roppongi Vice.
Roppongi! I was excited. I'm looking forward to seeing it. More on that later, I guess. I gave it a C out of honesty for a little introduction to someone I love, Meta Trent, and a B for the happiness in my soul. And then JPW, best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, what did your spinning dot say?
Oh no, am I still spinning? Oh god.
You are still spinning.
Oh, fuck my life.
Not on my camera, which is not on my screen, which is the important one.
Oh, okay,
Because
just
that's
me.
the
Never
one that's
mind.
broadcasting.
Yeah. No, that's good because Matt, as we know, Matt doesn't matter. So, yeah, I mean, it was a C. The major thing for me is I had to spend some time on Google trying to find out how to spell their name. But yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, C.
I just cheated and spelt it phonetically.
Fair.
I know how to spell it.
Yeah, you would. Right, following on from that, we had Frankie Kazarian. Apparently, I'm guessing the former Elite Hunter. Versus Lance Archer with Dan Lambert and Jake the Snake. Archer wins with the blackout. Scores did you give it, and what did you think of the match?
God. I've waited so long for Lance to come back. I love Lance, chinning people, running around. You just missed me going on about how much I love him. I love Frankie. Fucking love Frankie Kazarian. Great wrestler. Remember when he was the Elite Hunter and lost in every match to the Elite he was in, except he got to beat up Brand, and that was good, wasn't it? He went to Impact for a bit. And so Frankie, wonderful, wonderful, experienced Frankie. That wonderful springboard leg drop comes back to get beaten up by Lance. I think it really helped Lance because nobody remembers Frankie. Mo didn't know who Frankie was. I mean, you might know who he was, but you know. Crowd was dirt. I mean, and that didn't help. Match was just a very slow beating of Kaz. The only time there was any real heat that sort of picked up was old Lance favourite of Shanta shouting at children and saying this is your fault. And the crowd loved that. And somehow actually got some heat through it. Frank had a mini comeback and then it was over. Should have been shorter or against a more established recent character. I don't mean that to put down Frankie. Frank is great, but we haven't seen him in 6 weeks since he was the Elite Hunter who didn't hunt anyone successfully. OC, technically it was fine and there was some heat from screaming at a child. Otherwise I wasn't pleased. Like, really. Someone save this. Love both these people, but the match bored me.
Yeah, I mean, I gave this a C. And I got bored. Like, literally twiddling my thumbs, looking away from the screen, bored at certain points. You're right. This either should have been frantic match with Frankie just continually trying and just getting fucking nuked, or it should have just been a pure unbridled squash. I know Frankie Kazarian from Impact stuff as opposed to current AEW stuff, and I love some of the old shit he used to do, but they didn't feel like they deserved to be together. Like, it felt like Lance Archer. I keep
15 minutes, put them together.
Yeah, I keep going to call him Lance Storm. I have to keep stopping myself, which is really bad.
Very different people.
Massively different. It's just because of the name Lance. That's literally it. I'm simple, I told you. He should have absolutely just murdered someone. Surely that's what they're building to. He's meant to be this mega, super duper destroyer of men, and that's what they want him to do to Adam Page. That's his, Umaga to the beat, or his just huge unit to beat. The only thing that saved it, like I said, him screaming at a child and him screaming at the heckler who'd been a dickhead all night. That was it. I gave it a low C. Sorry, I gave it a C. Sorry. Yeah, it was. It existed.
C's across the board. It was a match. It happened.
Oh,
I like Frankie. I now like Lance. But I'm still waiting for that Lance match that I'm gonna absolutely love. Maybe it'll be
JPW.
Maybe. In AEW, right. We then had Dan Lambert in-ring segment, beat down on Kaz, Hangman for the save. Does anybody want to add anything for the after segment?
It was a cowboy outfit. Still fits in the same C category for me.
We
Strikes looked good.
Right, so I'm going to read this as I wrote it, and I will then correct it. We then had Matt Sydal, Lee Moriarty, and Matt Sydal promo. It was actually Matt Sydal, Lee Moriarty, and Dante Martin promo, which was followed, I'm going to put these together, by a Ricky Starks and Hobbs promo. Thoughts, scores, anything?
Hello, wrestling people. Famous members of this promo that you've been in. Or story writers, Tony Khan. I know your father watches, and I know Nick Jackson watches. Why does anyone trust Dante Martin? They'd be like, don't worry, Matt Sydal, we're friends again now. I know I betrayed you for Leo Rush, and then betrayed Leo Rush for Team Taz, then betrayed Team Taz back for Leo Rush. But this time, in betraying Leo Rush to work with you, we're a team. And I appreciate this is probably the story, so I hope it's the story. If they're jumping him around and the writers haven't noticed that this man cannot be trusted, either way, interesting. At least Dante's learning to promo now. Hopefully Lee Moriarty gets to say some stuff. He's had 2 matches and a solid comeback from the FTW boys. I'd give it a B if I knew Dante was meant to be a Machiavellian villain and he wasn't just being rotated through mentor characters because of signings and problems. So I don't know. Is he a Machiavellian villain or is it bad writing? Could be a B. For now, it's a C. That's me.
I didn't look into it that much. I don't know the history. But yeah, I mean, I gave it a C. Literally the only thing that stood out for me. And I don't know whether this is their normal saying or whether this was just a new one for the promo, but Team Taz, we build assassins. I really liked that as a little tagline. I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah, that's become their... Funnily enough, yeah, that's become their tagline in the last couple of weeks for a reason. It's almost as if they've got their own little in-house assassin.
Yeah, I really like that.
Hopefully they're going to use as an assassin after his very soon. What, you want to see some range, Mo? Watch. Just watch him. Yeah, after Hook's obvious upcoming face turn.
Off you.
Right, moving on. Red Velvet and Statlander both interrupted by Layla Hirsch. Little segment. Any thoughts? Scores?
I didn't even write that down. No, apparently. Do you guys have any thoughts?
She's a super angry Russian, isn't she? She's cool.
Tiny lady will put you in armbar.
I've put armbar 4 exclamation marks. It looked lovely as well. I really liked. Yeah, it was nice. It was very obvious what was going to happen instantaneously. I gave it a high C. It wasn't spectacular, but it also wasn't terrible. By rote.
Well, this is an interesting one because Layla Hirsch has been a bit of a favourite of certainly
armbar
for a while.
Armbar suplex, 2 moves, X circle, fucking go. Love her.
Yeah, but that is not selling just how awesome she is. She is our queen of our nation.
Dwarven Kingdom. Dwarven as in D&D, slide, blah, blah, blah. You know the fucking spiel. Tiny
no, we've got to give it new because you're on Twitch. Yeah, beards,
hi
axes,
there.
Ale.
We're fucking dorks. When we say Dwarven Kingdom, led by Pac, containing Layla Hirsch,
John Silver,
T-Ray or whatever his name was, he's not arrived in them. Anybody who's tiny and stocky and has a beard, or the female, dwarves, axes, D&D, Tolkien, we're fucking nerds.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by dwarves. We're not insulting little people. What is it, little people?
We're not.
I'm gonna stop before I ruin this.
No, please. Can you advance on to race or sexuality? That would be great.
Moving on. Sky Blue versus Serena Deeb. Thoughts and scores?
Really, I've lost an entire fucking page. You guys start off.
I'll go to Mo.
I didn't have a huge amount written down for this. I did enjoy it. They kept focusing the commentary on Shida as well, which was quite nice. And I may be wrong here because I do not do a lot of the social media and stuff like that. She's gone back to Japan. Is that right? Shida?
She goes back all the time. That's where her family and stuff are. She'll be back.
It
Don't
sounds like for an extended period of time, but they still kept focusing on it. I from the little I had sort of not even as if I'd actually researched. No, from the little things that popped up on my feed, it sounds like she's fucking off for a period of time, maybe working other places for a chunk of time. But they still kept bigging up, and I kind of liked it. I was hoping for more from the match, but it was still a good match for me. I don't have a lot written down from what actually happened in it, which says a lot. I got it down as a C though.
I've got my notes. I found my notes for the previous promo where it just says "Go on Hirsch armbar." I thought I'd add that in. We got a wrestling start. The start for this match really actually quite nice. Deeb winning most exchanges through experience. It showed like she was overpowering it. Just went back and forwards. Then the crowd just cheered Deeb, kicking the shit out of the face. So the crowd fucking loved her. And that's what happens when I'm at wrestling, if I'm not committing to the theatrics, which you're meant to. But I was like, oh, Sky. I mean, it doesn't help that unless you watch all 72 hours of Dark a week, you don't know who Sky Blue is, unless you're a follower of certain Twitter groups. Heat gave it a C. Weird to watch, very strange, especially with the cheering, but technically fine. Built up Deeb. Sky Blue was on TV. Crowd were cheering. C. Come on, Morg, you're Captain Face, man.
I gave it a C. It was a good match. It was solid. I like Deeb. I've been saying the match I'm looking forward to, though, weirdly, will require a face turn by one of the two women, is Mercedes Martinez versus Deeb.
Oh, she only just got here.
Because they're both too heel for it to work.
Remember when she was in like the first 4 episodes of Rampage?
I really
Then she went to be in Revolution. No, not Revolution. Is it Revolution?
Oh
God,
yeah, she was in Retribution.
That's the badger. The paper plates people.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So, moving on, we then have a Scorpio Sky, Adam Page and Dan Lambert promo. Anything to say?
Ethan Page does his traditional promo of "I will eat shit for you." That's all that promo was. Mox, I'm fucking sexy and I'm coming to eat shit for you. Wonderful.
Have you got anything to add, Mo?
Literally nothing. I was just whatever throughout the whole thing. Cool.
Following on from that, we had a package from some guy, and I don't think we need to talk about it. We had a Hook package.
Evil Tom Holland is the coolest man in wrestling at the moment, and I will stand by this until he ruins his reputation with a bad match.
Oh,
you guys can say what you want.
Oh dear.
I can't say Rampage was a bad match. It was a mediocre.
More
on that later.
More on that later. I have nothing to say about this.
Yes, it is.
So we then had, I don't know if Mo's seen one of these before, because I don't know if we've had one recently, a Sammy Guevara cue card promo.
No, I put Love Actually promo. That's what I put. I think that's probably why I was thinking of Love Actually earlier.
Any thoughts on it?
I'm going to read out the words of my partner. This will be new to you, Mo. We used to... Sami used to do this during the silent bit as brakes powered up and such like. So it didn't seem so weird at the time. He said, this is super boring now. I wrote, it was long. Lost me a bit. Was it in the break? It wasn't. When he came out of the doorway in the break to hold signs during the break when there was no sound, I dug it.
Then it was nothing.
Yeah, wasn't for me.
Yeah. I put, why the fuck is Sami replying in the Love Actually thing? And then I put itsy bitsy teeny weeny Spanish god little bikini. Because I couldn't stop looking. Apparently there's something attractive about him, or who knows. He's a very handsome man. And I'm just reiterating what I said earlier. This felt like the promos were the wrong way around between him and Cody.
No, I see it now.
I hadn't realised the Love Actually connection before. I quite like these promos just because they're original. The problem is that Sami's a really good talker, so he doesn't actually need the gimmick, and it was much better, as Strange said, when it happened in the breaks. Because his charisma comes through the cue cards, even though obviously I believe he's probably only got a hand in writing them. But they do feel... Go on.
If you're going to show me Sammy Guevara standing looking out at a beach in his pants or whatever, bringing signs, at least bring Tay Conti out at some point so I get to look at it.
There was a discussion about the match versus Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara on one of the early AEWs, that it was actually the match of the two prettiest men alive.
Oh, we've got Hook, it's over.
Now it'll have to be a three-way dance with Hook. Right, moving on. Hardy Family Office and Andrade promo. It's quite promo heavy, this one. Thoughts? Yeah. Anything?
Now Leo Rush has gone. I'm glad we just have two people saying business, 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 and shaking hands.
They said percentages.
Will Sting ever sell the small painted-faced man to Andrade? Butcher's got a full beard now. Don't like that. Looks less like a walrus. Displeases me. Otherwise, I believe I ranted about how bored I am of Matt Hardy having to be in every single thing previously, last week, week before, probably the week before that, and the week before that. And it would be nice if one of them taught them anything to correctly say about business. I'll let Andrade off. He does English isn't his first language. I'm not expecting a complex talk on things with him. Hardy is a legit businessman with a mansion, whose gimmick is big money Matt Hardy, who's meant to run a stable. One, run your stable. You don't have to be in every segment. Let them do some stabling. Two, learn some of the words. Even if you went Diamond Hands to the moon, and fucking stocked it from the GameStop shit I'd be in. Otherwise, just don't want Andrade. I mean, I know Andrade's gimmick isn't exactly going particularly well, but I'm still holding out for Los Ignorables. So can I just have some time without Matt Hardy, please? Just a little. Him and Adam Cole can go off together, and I won't say it. I almost said something terrible then.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't bothered about this promo. I get that it's setting something new up. I'm presuming something new up anyway, with the addition of Andrade taking over. I think Matt's going to get his wish of Matt Hardy being pushed out. I think that's where they're likely to go with this. Whether it actually means he's going to get pushed out and not have much airtime, or he's going to get pushed out and get more, yeah, that remains to be seen. It was just very meh for me. It was the last sort of, I'm going to say probably about 45 minutes of the show, not the last, but this sort of chunk, was all just C for me. There was nothing extremely sort of tying me in. Well, there you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Matt Hardy's going to get pushed out. Private Party will do something, and then Matt will come back, and he'll have to find a tag team partner.
God, it's Jeff! Remember him? He did lots of drugs, and I watched Victory Road with Sting.
Yeah, and that is exactly it. For me, this is set up for the Hardy Boys versus Private Party, which will probably actually be a really fun match.
Until we have to watch the Hardy Boys every single week, beating every tag team we've watched grow since the company started.
Yep. Moving on.
I like AEW. I like AEW.
The thoughts I had in my head there were, is Matt actually saying this has turned into WWE?
No, it's
when it comes to a Hardy.
It's definitely WCW. Right.
Yeah.
We then had an acclaimed Guinness. We then had an acclaimed Guinness advert.
That's written on my notes. Wonderful. You won't know this, Mo. Mo. Darby had this thing at the start of all these slow motion, black and white artsy videos whilst music played. And I was like, oh, it's like the old Guinness adverts. And they fucking did one back at him. It was a rap, and the rap was pretty good, and I love them, and 10 out of 10, and they can have a fucking A from me. I didn't even write down a letter. I love them. They're the best. Oh, give a reasonable rank.
Fuck me, I definitely did not give it an A. I enjoyed it. It was quite interesting. It was funny. It hit a few low blow marks, and not in a PG way, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I put it down as a B, definitely not a fucking A. But yeah,
I didn't write a letter. I just went off my own hype at this point. But I'll give it a B with you.
I listen to myself and I say A. No, yeah, B. That was good, but yeah, good.
It's the claim, so I gave it a D. It got a B. Strange comeback. They're still not for me. I still think Bowens is massively in that school. Him and Stu Grayson need to form a tag team of the most underrated guys in AEW.
Need their comedy friends, or they'd just be a bit boring. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right. It was a B. It was good. I enjoyed it, and I liked the playing with the Guinness, the Guinness promos. I thought that was really good. We then have our main event:
Us versus douchebags.
Acclaimed versus Sting and Darby Allin. Darby wins with the coffin drop. Thoughts and scores on the match.
I'll start with my final comments. My little final review was solid to shit, but fun to pretty good. Instant heel assault and Darby bump on the chair, and he's gone. It's just gone. Both the boys job for fuck like Sting, and you can tell they're loving it. Some turnbuckle shenanigans give the heels the edge for the break. It was okay. Steve's not as mobile as he used to be. We're on first name terms. Sting obviously powers back up, but it's not enough, and they boombox him. Bowens had a fucking phenomenal sequence where we got to see exactly how great Bowens is. The man is just fucking do everything. The old boy did a big jump, fair play. And Darby fucking... I missed Darby. No, Darby comes back. That was earlier. Sorry. Wonderful. And has a good ruck. Old boy does a big jump. Then Darby feeds Bowens some shit and they won. You could tell they weren't writing the best match. When they came up with this match, they weren't obviously like, this is going to be 10 out of 10 Tokyo Dome match. What they did was have a bit of a start and finish with a proper match and let people job for Sting. Mo won't have seen Scorpio Sky fighting Sting yet, but you'll never see a man who's so happy to fight Sting as Scorpio Sky. That's basically what happened here. They had a great time. I gave it a high C out of entertainment. I did note, as I didn't really grow up on the Sting phase, that I could be one up to a B if you two gave me good arguments.
I'm not going to give you a good argument because I also went for a high C. I got into this match as soon as Darby was taken out, and I realised how long was left on the rest of the show. I was like, oh, this is an interesting turn. I thought they would try and protect him a little bit more, because the last thing I really remember of Sting properly is when Seth Rollins nearly killed him. So all I have in my head is, he's fragile. Don't hurt him. I like him.
Don't buckle bomb him.
Oh no, have we lost Mo?
Yeah, well, Mo was ready for Sting to die, apparently. What did you think, Goth Man? This is your kind of person.
I gave it... Oh, no, he's back.
Back!
I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Well, you're still here. That's the important thing.
You're on, Mo.
Yeah, and I was just... Yeah, obviously I was worried after the Seth Rollins thing. And they just sold for him beautifully. They made him look actually dead strong for what he's actually capable of. I enjoyed the match. I love the little comeback from Darby. We knew it was going to come. He is like a human dart. He can just fly off.
indestructible non-crack addict is how I used to term him. Because he's straight edge, so he can't be an indestructible crack addict. Carry on, mate.
That's fair. Yeah, I thought the chair shot at the beginning was nasty. It looked nasty. That was really cool. What took Darby out? Brilliant. This wasn't phenomenal, but it was nice to watch. And I spent the entire time worried about Sting. But it turned into almost like, I'm going to say, an in-character worry. It started, genuinely, I'm worried for Steve, as you say. And that actually progressed into, oh, cool, no, I'm watching a match that I'm actually partially invested in. You know, which is rare nowadays, because it's me. But I gave it high C.
So I gave it high C also, but I'm almost tempted to put it up. Because I do remember saying to the Raptor at the beginning of this will be the match. As soon as Darby got taken back, oh, well, this is going to be the match where we'll see if Sting really has still got it. Now, I have been a big proponent. I like the way, and Sting isn't one of my favourite wrestlers from my dark spoopy wrestler was The Undertaker. Even though Sting
leg drop.
But I think he did a good job. I don't have a problem with them selling for him because they have already made the rule in AEW that all legends are double-hard bastards. If you get the drop on them, you can take them out, and you'll take them out, and they are the fragile men that they are. But if they get the drop on you, or get the option to actually get to face you, all the legends are double-hard bastards. And I don't have a problem with that because that's that's AEW canon. So yeah, you can get the drop on Arn Anderson, but for fuck's sake, don't let him pull the Glock.
He's got a gun!
But don't let Arn hit you, because if Arn hits you, you're out. And let's be honest, Arn does look like if he hit you, that you would be out still. But anyway, so yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I enjoyed it. I don't know, maybe it was a B. Maybe it was a better match. Because of the way it was in the pacing. No, I'm going to stick with my high C. Because I still want to give my match. I want to give my match of the week to the match of the week I've given it to. And I've not given it out yet.
Oh, shit.
So, Mr. Strange. Overall scores.
Shockingly, guys, it's a C plus 1 S-rank hook.
Whoa.
Largely, our wrestling was good and or entertaining, if not the best. Our story segments got the characters over and explained that Adam Cole will be fighting next week. Yeah, everything was tight to good. It's just it didn't cross that barrier of being consistently good enough to take us into a B rank. We never quite crossed to the Gohan level and exist in the world of only Future Trunks. Which, although a great moment, he is kind of wasted.
Right.
So the Dragon Ball Z reference, fucking yeah.
It's time.
Oh, it's time for a Ragey Rampage. A Ragey Rampage rundown. Always called it that. I was angry when I watched this, so keep that in mind as I run through. Stark, Jericho, Excalibur, and Taz on commentary, and they are a phenomenal little team, and I love them. And we open with Mox versus Ego Ethan Page, and Mox wins with his chokey thing. I start showing Mox has been away. Once again, he looks good. Slow and solidly done. It was very alright. And then there was a pickup and Mox won. Not exactly the welcome back match I kind of expected. This was very alright. And a lot slower than I hoped for. Anything?
I was just expecting Mox to come out. Right, you are now pure fire. Like, everyone's on side. Yeah. Go out and fucking destroy. Destroy. I liked the Danielson bit at the end. Yeah, that was nice. For me, kind of one of the only good things about the match. I gave it a C because it was a match. It wasn't a terrible match. It was just a match that I hoped more for.
I gave it a high C. I really enjoyed this. But to the given value, yeah, it was good fun. I liked having Mox back. I like the fact that he... there's little things. I love the way that Mox sells. That he does that really pissed off selling, and that he keeps selling and staggering. And I love the angry sell he does. I remember mentioning that to the Raptor. And then Daniel Bryan in the back. I think that's what pulled it up for me. Because I suddenly there and I went to the Raptor and I was like, we haven't had that. I don't think we've seen that since the early days of the Shield. And we certainly haven't had main event Mox.
Nothing to me.
Sorry?
I don't care about the Shield. That means nothing.
Yeah, but we haven't had Mox. We haven't had main event Mox versus main event Bryan anywhere else that I can think of, unless strange it's somewhere on the indies that I don't know of.
Not that I'm aware of, but I did have a lot of years off wrestling.
And I am saying, specifically main event. So, yeah, I'm looking... And let's be honest, anything Bryan touches turns to gold, and Mox is a guy who can work. So, I have very high hopes for that match.
Yeah, let's hope it's good.
But yeah, I gave it a C. It was a C. High C, but a C.
Oh, Jurassic expressed it. Well, okay, Jungle Boy did a promo against the Guns. Cage was there. That was nice. And then Dean went...
And he said apples. Very important. He did say apples.
I'm sorry for one of our potential listeners / good friend of the group that I am not the biggest Dino fan saw when it comes to his gimmick. Ring, fine. I think his gimmick could mature a little more rather than just making noises.
I'm hoping he turns into the dad from Dinosaurs, the old Disney thing. You know, the big fat worker dad. Exactly.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing. Comes in with a little lunchbox, hard hat. Yeah.
No. Shared universe. I want that to be his dad. And he is not the mama's baby.
Oh, God.
The baby.
The expanded lore of dinosaurs. Right, unless either of you got anything to add other than apples, I'll move on. Brent versus Nick Jackson. It's next, isn't it?
Yes,
Brent
it
wins
is.
with the Crunchy, but he's renamed it to the Strong Zero, which used to be the tag team finisher name of the Best Friends. You might not think I'm listening, AEW, but we do watch the fucking show. Anyway, they start, some chops, some suplexes, with a patient pace, but some cool stuff in it. They've got chemistry. You could tell they'd wrestled each other. Picked up for a cool sequence, punctuated with Trent's outside spear, back to where he likes to do them. +1 Trent step-up tornado DDT on the corner. It's beautiful, and I'm glad he's back. He's kept up after that. Nick Jackson did a destroyer by flipping over the ropes, using the momentum of the flip to go into a Canadian destroyer on Trent, and it looked good! Almost like if you apply momentum to a moving move, it fucking works! Don't jump off the turnbuckle, stand still, then flip through the air! It's just a man backflipping! Anyway, that was really cool. Trent ate some shit for a bit, then got a Strong Zero for the win. Gave it a B! I was happy! The two could wrestle! It was nice!
Yeah, I mean, I gave this a low B. I enjoyed the match, really, really nice. There was a lovely little spot where Trent ended up doing like a crossbody into two at the top and middle rope. It looked nasty in a good way. Yeah.
We had to have surgery.
I'm not surprised because he is not fussed about putting that bad neck through worse shit. He obviously he loves getting the fuck kicked out of him.
Trent might have left Japan, but Japan never left Trent. I'm copying Morg's hair. This.
Oh, is this a thing? Do you want me to? Yeah. I'll get on there in a minute. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this. It was a low B. It was really, really good. I felt a couple of times, especially when it weirdly, here's a shot, when it went into picture-in-picture, the pace slowed down so fucking much. It put it off for me, just for that small bit of time. I'm really happy that Trent won. Really, really happy because it feels like the Best Friends actually have a win.
It's almost like this is going to be the first win against that. Roppongi Vice will win the other match. Orange Cassidy can win his dark match because then his win doesn't count against Adam Cole. And then the feud will hopefully fucking end. Morg, what do you think of it all now we've had a hair off?
Yeah, I gave it. So this is interesting. So Mo gave it a low B. You gave it a B.
B.
Yeah, I gave it a high B. This was my match of the week. This was awesome. I really do. Now, I might have my Young Bucks bias that I'm now adding in as I think it's just a Young Bucks bias. It's not just their clusterfuck tag matches. But yeah, I really... And this was... I did wonder whether you were going to tell me this was a Japan match. Because, boy, these boys hit each other. Everything looked impactful. It didn't just look like they were punching it. Every move looked impactful. Like, even the Canadian Destroyer. Everything.
Because they're both phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're both phenomenal wrestlers who've wrestled each other 10,000 times.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Yeah, and I gave it a high B.
Nice. Then the sound dropped by 10% so they could have the Martinez promo. I think it's the same one they did on Dine, but they're going to do a fight. See. Then, oh no, Evil Tom Holland had his weakest match yet. I'm afraid to say. Hook versus Serpentico. Hook wins with the red rum. Hook cuts off Serpentico's streamers, beats the shit out of him, refuses to elaborate, and leaves. More one-sided than any other Hook match we've seen. Every other one involves him at least taking a few moves, a few beating spots. This was just a straight squash. And QT took some shit and got suplexed, so QT and the Factory are his growing feud. As much as I still want to give a high rank to the presentation of the Hook, not overusing him and such like, the match was sadly a D. Bet you didn't think you'd hear that, did you, boys?
Wow.
Nothing to add?
There was one. So I was watching this. My wife Carly was sat sort of in the background doing other stuff. And I had said, "Watch this guy, because Matt will go fucking mad for him when he came down."
Yeah.
And her only takeaway from it was, does everyone chew gum like he chews gum? Because that looks weird.
He's calmed it down a bit. The first time he arrived, I imagine it's his nerves. He's like 21.
Yeah, fair. You must be shitting yourself. Yeah, I mean, I didn't put it down as a D. I put it down as a low C. One of my favourite things about it was the tassels that just got caught on Serpentico, and that shouldn't have made me smile so much. It probably wasn't intentional, but that kind of makes it a little bit all right for me.
You won't know. Serpentico is a face and a heel jobber at the same time.
What?
He's one of their trainers. He's a really well-liked, really popular indie guy. When he doesn't have his mask on, is himself. Oh, I forget his name. Something Cruz. And he is a comedy face jobber. And then he's in Chaos Project with Luther, where he's a heel jobber and he's Serpentico. This man has got work down. And
both characters will tweet each other, slagging the other character,
ripping
off
on
as
each
well.
other. It's wonderful. John Cruz, that's it.
Yeah, John Cruz. So this was wrapped to. So I'm afraid it's D squash.
Yep.
Very much important because I always state, it's not a D, it's a D squash. It only gets the D because it's a squash.
Its presentation's still great.
Yeah,
Match
Hook still looks great. Unfortunately, this was Raptor's first viewing of Hook, and I build it up, and unfortunately, she wasn't impressed because of the streamers all being cut around Hook. So he just looks like he's covered in webbing. I did point out he's evil Tom Holland. I tried everything I could, Strange.
Show me the other two matches.
I've left that just on Mo, just nodding, interested at what we're saying instead of having the proper screens.
Show these ladies the Fuego match and the Bear Bronson match.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
He actually takes some heat on it, which lets him win back. The boy's too over, though. Right, then Mark Henry.
Quick point. Sorry, quick point. This is the second week that Hook has faced a heel, and QT is definitely a heel as the person he's going into, but he did leave through the heel door. I am watching which door Hook walks through from now on.
I'll add it to the heel tally.
Right, Mark Henry interviewed Anna and Jade. They both brought their comedy men for them. Not the best of the interviews. I'm not sure either of the ladies have got amazing direct mic interview skills yet, but John Silver pulled some funny faces and it was okay. Bless him.
Have you got anything to add, Mo, before I give my thoughts on this?
No.
Because I actually have thoughts on this. They both brought their comedy men with them, and their comedy men should have cut the promo.
Yeah.
The best bit about it
the reason people stick around with me at LARP.
With John Silver doing the... And now it's time for the main event at the same time as Mark Henry. That was the best bit of this. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Carry on.
Jade versus Anna. Jade wins with Jaded, obviously. Solid start. Jade is still improving. Her wig must be held on with magic. I'm getting that on now. She's worn that wig for the entirety of this run, and it's magical. Pretty sure Anna punched Jade right in the face before picture-in-picture when Silver ducked under the arms off. Because she looked a bit guilty afterwards. Then Jade stomped Anna for the whole break. Jade did a basketball dance taunt thing for like 30 seconds. It was a bit weird. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, Anna was allowed to do a choke and a brief sequence broke out. Silver suplexed Mark. All of the Anna stuff was in the last 5 minutes, and Jade pulls it back and wins. It was tighter and better than I'm used to Jade seeing in a longer match, though, so I still gave it a C. I just feel it was a bit of a clusterfuckery in it, and some of the pacing was off. Overall, I wouldn't have minded that as an average filler match on a show. Maybe not the main event.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm really still massively struggling with Jade Cargill. I know she looks fucking amazing. Looks like she should be the most.
Amazon.
Yeah, like Jesus fucking Christ, she has got the look and the attitude down pat. This was a better match than the Ruby Riott one. This was by a substantial amount. But I am still not fucking sold that there should be a belt on this woman. It is lowering the value of their belt. Lovely. She's got a 25 win, no loss thing. Great. They're trying to create a mythos, whatever. A female Goldberg, yes.
There's female Kevin Nash to ruin this.
But there's just so much missing. So much. I was actually pleasantly surprised with Anna Jay. I thought she actually looked really good in this. Without Jade Cargill doing anything to make her look good. I didn't know it. I've not seen it. I've not seen any Anna Jay stuff. So I went into this instantly going, oh, this is probably going to be some sort of squash. Because they're trying to make Jade Cargill better. But it actually felt all right. It's the only reason it's getting a low C, not a D. And I think I'm biased. And I feel bad that I am. I just can't see anything good in Jade Cargill other than a look.
Maybe we're rating her higher just because we've got fucking...
Stockholm Syndrome.
That's the badger.
So Anna, just quickly, Anna is a prodigy. She turned up, was amazing, and we then found out she'd been like wrestling for a week. That's a slight exaggeration.
Mr. Dressing like an evil magician.
Yeah, she used to be when she first started, she was Satana. She looked like a magician, and then she joined the Dark Order, and then you watch BTE, and she got all the personality thanks to the boys.
Right.
What do you give the match, Morg? This is the important thing.
I gave it a C.
Right.
I was getting to that. Right. So, and then on to Jade Cargill. So the Raptor had this one. She doesn't like Jade Cargill either. And I pointed out that the thing about Jade is in this particular role with that belt, she looks really good on the front cover of the Radio Times. And I don't feel sexist when I say it about Jade. It's because she is just such an amazing specimen. She looks athletic. She's Amazonian, as Strange always says. She looks amazing. She's still not having the greatest matches, but this was still the best Jade Cargill match I've had, and I've been saying that in a row, so I think she is getting better, but she's nowhere near Thunder Rosa or Shida. Sorry, Strange, over to you.
Yeah, we have to accept that people like sexy people on television. We just have to. She's a large, attractive Amazonian goddess lady. People will buy that magazine to go,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know who she was.
Oh,
I'd buy that magazine.
To be fair, when I was talking to the Raptor about it, and I stated at the time, if it was Anna we were talking about, who is incredibly pretty in my opinion, then I would feel sexist about saying, oh, well, she looks really good on the cover. The thing with Jade is that she's so everything visually. Yeah. She is just... Let's just hope that
money.
She can... Yeah, let's hope she goes down the Trish Stratus route and she really wants to wrestle and becomes really good.
Right, anyway, that's the show over. Can you guess what we've got for this show, boys? Can you guess?
Fucking
see again. What a surprise. We've had our second week of very standard wrestling. That doesn't mean it's bad. Some of it's bad. Doesn't mean it's great. Some of it's great. The overall product, I would say, for the last couple of weeks has become a little repetitive and needs to branch out and go somewhere. We've seen a lot of the same faces, a lot of the same arcs. I like Boomerman. It's cool. That's enough. I like the Men of the Year. Oh, look, it's nepotism. They haven't got the titles. I don't care about Adam Cole. I'm not going to pretend to. He can just have a fucking week off. Overall, the story work is there. The matches have been tight and good, and I'm happy to watch the wrestling. It's time to bring it up again, boys. We've had like 3 weeks of C's. Come on, Big Shad Khan. Tell your son. Get him to call me. Oh, so, another C week.
it's that time when we check if we've had any questions through in our mailbag, which we haven't. I'm just going to quickly check Twitch though, so this is the time if you're on Twitch to ask a question and get a live answer that we'll have no prep for whatsoever.
My favourite.
Let's just check the notes. The stream.
Oh no, it appears my internet's gone down again.
No, there's nothing there. Right, we do have a question. No. And it's a question from me, and it's very specific. This is it comes here to Wrestleopinionated from Morg, and it's Mo. My question is for Mo, and Mo, what are your 5 favourite matches of all time? Just give a quick bit of background. Me, Strange, and Muir did this a while back, and we had to do it on the fly, and we then went on to review those 5 matches. So we may keep these in the bag for the future.
Okay.
If there's crossovers, I'll be interested.
I want to point out, was not so much anymore, but still a bit, obviously deep down in my soul, I am a WWE shill. I'm a WWF shill.
Don't worry, most of ours were WWE ones apart from Strange, who had some real weird indie shit.
I am fucking shocked. So
Lucky T versus Zack is really good.
And Strange has left the stream.
Oh, he's here for me.
No, I meant I'd kicked him.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah.
Intimate that.
Sorry, my bad. Right, okay. In no particular order. So the first one that probably comes to my head is a thing that was massive for my sort of childhood. The first time I'd ever seen something that genuinely impressed me that wasn't just like, let's fucking Doink the Clown or whatever. Razor versus Shawn. It was the first time that I started seeing...
fucking hell, Jesus. The past.
Is that the ladder match?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. WrestleMania... Fuck. 10? I'm gonna say, as a guess. That is a guess. But that was when... So I just started to get into WWF, and that was because... This is going to sound fucking weird and sound like... The milkman used to drop off VHS tapes in WWF. He wasn't banging my mum. I just want to point that out. Who knows? But yeah, that's the first sort of big thing I remember that's always stuck with me. I'm going to say Taker Michaels.
Interesting. 1 or 2?
I prefer 1. I'm a 1 fan. I liked the build-up. I know number 2 was great because it was that story of it all coming to an end for him. But I love the chase and the heel Michaels when he's fucking around. And
most people prefer 1. I'm the one who's unusual who prefers 2.
Oh,
2 was on my list, which is why I asked.
So I remember where I was when I watched 2, but I can't remember where I was where I watched 1. I just remember being drawn in so much. First time, I'm going to say, and Matt is probably going to rip the living fuck out of me. So the first time I saw what I would call Japanese style, the strong style shit, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, Shinsuke is fucking godly. I'll never fucking talk strong style fucking King Shinsuke.
That was
and El Generico is pretty good.
Yeah,
El Generico.
There's a reason. There's a reason it was Sami was his match. Yeah.
I was trying to at that time. I was trying to get into NXT. I'd heard a lot about it, and I was actively putting the effort in. And when that match appeared, it made a lot of the other stuff that was up and coming at that time look absolutely dog shit. I just remember being absolutely straight away like, holy fuck, messaging my mates going, you need to watch this. You need to fucking watch this. And I very rarely get like that. How many was that? That was 3.
That's your number 3.
I mean, Bret versus Stone Cold, it's a bit of a cheap one. But again, first time I saw a real, heel face crossover. Visual of Stone Cold, obviously that was on everything WWE for fucking forever.
WrestleMania 13.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was later than that.
WrestleMania 13. I know this because it's when Taker won his first championship properly and had his first main event Mania match.
Oh,
and the whole card is saved by Austin versus Bret.
I was about to say I should go back and watch some of these. And
Bret told everybody because he's such a mark for himself.
And this is probably one of my favourites. Like actually in a numerical order way as well, unlike the others. Fucking TLC 2. Fucking that match was just storytelling, violence.
Who's in that one? You're saying WWE things to me. I don't know.
Hardys, you love them. You love the Hardys, so them.
I did. Fucking Hardys back in the day. Oh, fucking.
It's that Hardys.
It's the triumphant Dudleys.
And Dudleys.
Okay. Yeah, oh, wonderful. Yeah, fucking cool.
Well, here's the interesting news, Strange.
I've got to watch these now.
Because I think over... Maybe we won't do a 5-week run like we did the 15-week run of ours, which I think that was a bit much. But I think we might drop these in now and again, and we'll review Mo's favourite matches.
I'm 100% up for that because I bet we go back and watch them and I'm disappointed by my memory.
I'll just send him the list of the original 15.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I'm well interested. I'm sure I'll have to do some horrific Google searching for some of Matt's.
We've got links for them.
Oh, sweet.
We had to find.
We have to go to Chinese YouTube.
We had to find mine. We did have to go to Chinese YouTube for one of Strange's, and then I wished I hadn't. No, I don't think that was that one actually. Right?
No, you like Chuck E. Cheese and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, no, that one was good.
Orange Cassidy. Who was it? It was the fucking Swoggle versus Chuck E. T. EWG match, yeah, because it had Massage and it had lots of people in it.
Right.
Lots of people are in that match.
If you'd like to send us a message or like to get in touch with us, you can join us on Twitch and say something at a relevant time when we ask for questions, or you can email us, wrestleopinionated@gmail.com. We are WrestleOP on Facebook and WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Mr. Strange, Mr. Mo, it's over to you. I believe you've got something for us to discuss.
Yeah, me and the wife had watched a chunk of Dark Side of the Ring this week. We fucking love it. Absolutely love it. It's something my wife gets interested in because she gets to see the behind the scenes and all the crazy.
And watch the Von Erich's episode. It's really sad.
Yeah, we've already seen it. It's so... Oh, that poor family. I think anytime I bring it up, it's just we're going to say that.
I don't need to watch it. I watched the WWE one. That was sad and well done, and I know it will have been a lot more sugar-coated, and I was sad enough after watching the WWE Von Erichs. Anyway, moving on, because we're getting into the wrong kind of...
Yeah. I was actually watching more of the hardcore stuff at that, or we watched a couple in a row, and some nasty shit obviously happens in some of those. But my question is, for you guys, what hardcore match is too hardcore? Is there a too hardcore? Oh, God. I'm going to put it to you guys first, because I want to hear your opinions before I wade in with mine.
Go on, Morg.
I need to ask a quick question, Mo. Did you do your homework? Did you watch the match we sent you?
I watched bits of it because I only remembered you sent me it just before we came on this, so I had it on very fast.
So no, you should go back and watch. So that was in our top fives.
Just for our new listeners and viewers, that's Dante Martin versus Killshot. Not Dante Martin. He looks like Dante Martin.
Dante Fox.
Dante Fox
versus Killshot from Lucha Underground.
Horrors of War match, I want to say.
Horrors of War. We thought it had a different name, and the name that me and the Raptor thought it was, we all decided was a better name for it. It's the Horrors of War match. So that thing is brutal. When we went back and watched it, we have kind of agreed, I think, me and Strange, that it's our favourite joint hardcore match. It's the one that we both is probably the hardcore match that we would both put in our favourite list. I like a good hardcore match, and I like a well done one, and that one gets pretty brutal. It wasn't as brutal as I remembered it when we rewatched it for reviewing. Or it didn't feel as brutal.
A little chunk of flesh that's in the ring off Dante's back after he's gone through the third sheet of glass.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I first thought it was. I remember when me and the Raptor first watched it, oh my god, this is brutal. But and she's not a big hardcore fan, but if it's deserved, earned, and done well, she can enjoy them. And Lucha Underground did them well. It was very rare we got to the end of a hardcore match and she was like, no, that one was a bit too much. I think there was one. I like a good hardcore match. Obviously, I don't want to see anyone actually get really hurt. But if you can fake it, you can fake it as much as you want for me. And you can go to the levels of silly as Seth Rollins plucking out Rey Mysterio's eye. If you've earned it on the way there with the rest of the match, which is probably going to have a bit of real colour before you go for the comedy moment. So yeah, as long as nobody actually gets really hurt, I'm kind of alright with most hardcore matches as long as they earn them. I don't think you don't just go out there smashing somebody in the face with the fluorescent tube, right? You've got to earn it. Horrors of War earns it. Mick Foley and Edge at WrestleMania earns it. A lot of ECW. I'm having a mental blank now. So ECW, Beulah McGillicuddy versus. He was Rob Van Dam's spokesman. I can't remember.
God. He was always in his blue shirt.
Yeah, he had the whistle. I'm having a mental blank. They were the two non-wrestlers. They had the hardcore match. And that thing is fucking brutal. But God, it's a great match because they earned it. And I believe they stole the show. A lot of people have said, they kind of steal the show with that match almost. For these. So yeah, for me, that's my opinion. Strange.
I take a almost Roman perspective on my gladiatorial combat. When you are arming your gladiator, you arm his legs and sleeves so that if he's wounded, he doesn't slow down. I'll watch a man die in that ring if he's willing to die in the ring. If they bleed too heavily and you can see they're dizzy, so it's slowing the match down, that's out. If they take out a limb and it's not worked, they can't do it, that's out. If I think they're genuinely suffering, like if I can see the actual pain in their eyes, that's out. But otherwise, like, if one of the old boys in his days goes, you know what, I'd really like to be euthanized with a slingshot brainbuster in a wrestling match, I will watch and cheer that man in the ring. I view wrestling the same as I view films. There is obviously a horror line, and if you cross from action and war into horror, I'll probably stumble a bit. But grew up on Evil Dead and shit. Unless you cross to Ichi the Killer, I don't give a fuck. Hack each other. A certain now banned wrestler once brought an axe to a hardcore match on the Brit Indies. Wonderful. Let's see some of that. Just don't permanently ruin each other unless you're... Don't be New Jack. Okay,
Funny
don't
you
be New
should say
Jack
that.
when he's angry at a man. Don't throw somebody 30 foot trying to kill him. It would have looked a lot cooler if he'd gone through all those tables. But at least Grimes can leave his house now. Otherwise, no, I'm good with it. Sometimes the Sea of Blood can be a bit weird or a bit over the top. A lot of people got sad with the Dustin Cody match, which you should watch, Mo, from the start of AEW.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, isn't it? A lot of people are like, oh, he's bleeding too much. And I was like, no. Oh, he's alright, he can still move. He can still do his moves. That's my only limitation, really. If I saw fingers coming off, I suppose, or somebody like, you know, shredding someone's ear, or any actual like visceral horror, I imagine I'd draw the line. Otherwise, wrap people up in barbed wire, set them on fire, slam them through. Don't do the piranha match. It doesn't work. Piranhas need you to bleed, and if you are bleeding, that's real dangerous. But exploding barbed wire, fluorescent tubes, doors instead of tables, 30-foot drops, fucking hit me up. I'm ready to watch the anarchy.
See, I think so the reason I brought this up is because I was discussing with Carl and my wife when we were watching it, was how I used to be the most bloodthirsty little horror known to human existence. I used to be Matt. And I was up for literally anything. I remember, so it happened just before I started watching ECW, because I think it happened just before it came onto Bravo back in the mid-90s, but ECW with the Vic Grimes, New Jack scaffold thing. And that's one of the things that always made me want to watch more ECW. All that shit. Like, I loved it. Whenever people were fucking each other up, you see these nasty moves where people are crushing their ribs on the barriers. Some twats handing them a fucking Nintendo, and they're caning each other's faces in. I absolutely fucking loved it when I was younger. Yeah, like I said, yeah, one of my...
I didn't have Sky as a kid. I couldn't watch ECW until the days of YouTube. I was poor. We didn't even have a television.
It's not my fault that you haven't aged.
I was lucky and had a friend who used to record it and send it to me. Record it on videos along with all the WWE stuff, so I got to watch it. But generally, the way I got into ECW was thanks to Power Slam magazine.
Oh,
I used to read about it, and I was massively into it, much as I had been with bands previously in the early days of Kerrang, where I'd read about these bands and got into them because of they looked cool, and then I heard them. And fortunately, most of the time, it was all right.
You got to hope for one of those magazines that had the CD on the front to actually hear them.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, do you have a cut-off then for you now?
Yeah, watch a man die in the ring.
I wouldn't anymore, but that's because I've seen men die in real life. No. I think there's a limit now. For me personally, like I tried to go and watch some of the CZW, fucking get the letters right. CZW.
Combat though, bro. Ooh.
And that was...
But he will die there.
That was sort of beyond my level, and I think that was really sort of when I hit that point where I was just like, actually, I now realise, you know, because of all the documentaries and all that bullshit that comes out, how much these people are willing to fucking murder themselves to make us go, or boo. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, and I think I've hit that point where I'm like, I don't want a wrestler to fucking die, even if like their character or anything. I don't want them to die to entertain me. That doesn't entertain me personally. I'd rather fucking slapstick bullshit at the moment than death. But I think exactly, I'm gonna go straight on what Morg said. If there is a fucking good reason and they fucking earned it, a hardcore match can be fucking phenomenal. It's the equivalent of like like the old Hell in a Cells and stuff. Before it was a yearly thing that always appeared, and it was just to sell seats. The matches were earned, and the things that happened in them, whilst not all of them were great, that stipulation was a real fucking a poignant thing. When someone wanted that shit, it felt like it, and I think that should be the same with hardcore matches. It should be earned. It should get to that point. It shouldn't just go, oh, fuck it.
Better if it's earned, but I'll watch a man die.
So on the same kind of subject, and again, this is more for Mo because I'm intrigued, because we've had a couple of quite strong blade jobs recently. What is your thoughts on, not necessarily in hardcore matches, but bleeding in a normal match? Again, preferably when earned, not just... So I'm not talking about just doing it for the sake of doing it. I'm talking about... But I mean, we've had some... I mean, the girls having their... Anna Jay and Ty Conti, but having that match, absolutely.
And Rosa and Brett was wonderful earlier
Rosa
as well.
And Britt.
Yeah.
So Britt bleeds like a Rhodes.
But I mean, even in just the few weeks I've been doing this with you guys, there was Cody. Sorry, wrong. No, it's because you just said Rhodes. Bryan Danielson. Literally, was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago where we said it looked like he had chopped his fucking half his skull off with a machete. He stuck himself so badly. I don't have a problem with blood. What I'm not saying I have an issue with people blading or doing it the hard way or whatever. I do not have an issue with that because it does increase a story. It really does. It brings you into it. There is 100% a place for it. And I'm not bothered seeing it every match because blood's a real thing. Let's face it, you get in a fight, you're going to fucking bleed. I have no issues with that. For me, it's more like the scaffold match, literally what we're saying about. Or, if it had actually worked out, there was the dogs in the fucking Hell in a Cell bullshit that happened with Big Boss Man and that.
Was that the one where they hung him?
Yes, I think it was. It was separate, was it?
No, that was separate. So the one you're thinking of is the dog kennel match, when all that actually happened was that the dogs walked around and shit all over the place.
And fucked. There was a lot of humping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think there's a place for it.
Okay, Mo. Random question as a man who has cited Hell in the Cell, who's recently been won over from WWE. How do you feel about a red-tinted Hell in a Cell match where you can hit a man with a giant hammer? Goddamn, how dare you hit him with a smaller hammer?
That, I think I even put a Facebook post up about how angry I was about that match. And I'm fairly reserved with my my wrestle
You can hit a man with a table. You can hit a man with a chair. You can hit a man with a giant hammer. God help you if you hit him with a smaller hammer.
Yeah, that was fucking dog shit, and it was one of the many fucking downfalls of that character as well. Just how badly written it was. It just tanked something that could have been amazing. The whole break. We're going off on a tangent. I'm not going to carry on. This is for another day.
Mo's rant. Book it, Morg.
Yeah,
Book it for next week. Mo's rant.
We have not had a rant of the week for a while. So, Mo, next week you will have a short period of time. We've got to remember that we're doing this, and you will probably have to remind me because I'm not writing my notes down while we're live. We will do Mo's rant, and it doesn't have to be AEW. I mean, we are an AEW mainly podcast, but we can do Mo's how WWE fucked up Bray Wyatt.
Converted him to AEW.
Because I will back you on this rant. And I think after the house of, was it the
Firefly Funhouse?
The Firefly Funhouse match. You're probably going to get Strange on side for that one. Because how do you screw up the guy that you did such an amazing match with? So, yes.
Give his entire gimmick to Alexa Bliss.
So there we go then.
Close the show, Morg.
Right, that's it. That's our show. I would like to thank Anchor.fm for hosting the podcast. If you want to find us, we are Wrestleopinionated on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor.fm, and now on Twitch. I would also like to thank Twitch for streaming us. Over to you, Mo.
Hi. Mo moment. Oh, God. It's got to be... I'm tattooing John Silver's arms on my arms. Fucking fact, that man is a legend and I love him. Yeah, he'll eventually give me 6 months of watching him and I'll have a rant about him in a good way. Also, 41 days not fired.
Oh, look at the record. Oh, wonderful. Well, should you like me, Morg, the M's, if I count my first name. Ooh. Please like, share, subscribe, click the little bell button, write a comment, check back and watch us live on Twitch where you can laugh at me sticking things in my hair because I can't concentrate and look at the camera. We really appreciate you listening. All the good buttons, tell your friends, come and watch us live now, I guess. Thank you for being here. Back to you, Morg.
All that's left to be said is goodbye and good night.